Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Teresa of @MindMyBudget. If this is your first time clicking on one of my videos, thank you for joining. Mind My Budget, we talk all things personal finance, planning, and spreading positive vibes. In today's video, we'll actually be going over my first paycheck for October. I am very excited to be filming this because this is a special paycheck, and I'll go into more details later. But I'll be using the zero-based budget method to outline my bills for this upcoming paycheck, any debt I plan to pay off, any savings, and things like that. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to fill out my income. Now, the reason I'm saying that this is a special paycheck is because I work based off of a union contract. So within my union contract, we do get increases every year depending on if the contract is currently ongoing or if it's paused for a moment. So not getting into too many details, essentially what happened last year in October, we were due for a raise, but because of the pandemic, my job put a pause on any contractual raises. So we finally got notification, I think it was back in August, that we were going to be brought up to the salary that we should have been brought up to last year, which means that we're also receiving back pay or retroactive pay from the time that we should have been receiving our current salaries. So I'm very excited because that just means that there's more opportunities for me to pay off debt. And that's what we're here for, to get this debt down. However, I don't actually know how much that paycheck is going to be, so I'm planning based off of my normal paycheck amount. So again, if this is your first time here, I am an associate director for student financials here in New York City, which is a managerial level at my job. So again, I'm basing this off of my normal paycheck, knowing that when I go back and put in the actual amount on my payday, it will be probably way different. I'm actually going to film a separate video and really document and show for all of you just my steps and how I determine, okay, when I get extra income, what do I do with it? Because before, let me tell you, whenever I used to get extra income or any type of money back, I can't even tell you what I spent it on. So now I really, similar to my budget, just try to have a plan. After income that I like to include are my savings and investments. I firmly believe in paying yourself first, making sure that you put aside money for a potential emergency, and for me specifically, that includes my sinking funds. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write out my emergency fund. That's budgeted for $100. I'm heavily focusing on rent, so excuse me, not rent. I'm heavily focusing on paying off debt. So I know that for me, the emergency fund, I'm okay just doing $100 for now because I do really want to pay off my high interest debt first. The next thing will be my sinking fund. So I'm going to quickly go ahead and speed through these amounts. So for this video, I'm just going to go ahead and put the amounts first, and then at the end we'll calculate each category, and I'll explain better why at that time. So now that I've paid myself first, the next thing I'm going to do is write down any fixed expenses. So any expenses that I know are coming up between October 7th and then my next paycheck, which is the 21st. So I have my fixed expenses are those are actually all of my fixed expenses. Normally, I would also have rent here of $700, and in my previous video, I mentioned on my budget calendar that I split my rent 50-50 from my two paychecks. However, I was looking at my numbers, and again, I'm really interested in focusing on debt specifically this month because I will be restarting my debt-free journey. I'll make sure to include in one of these corners the video link, so if you haven't done so, you can watch that video and just see what my plan of attack is. But I will be using the debt snowball method. So right now I'm not putting rent as a fixed expense for this first paycheck because I am in advance of my rent. I've been saving more than what the rent is actually monthly, so I have the majority of my November rent already saved. So I thought it would be a good time to pivot and just put a little bit extra to debt from this first paycheck. Now we'll hop into my variable expenses. We have miscellaneous. That's just essentially the allowance I give myself. Groceries. Have Papa, which is my dog. That's not his name, but it's his nickname. I also have therapy, which I'm a huge believer in. It has helped me tremendously, so I make sure that I budget for therapy because I don't want to fall behind on that. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but again, I do have debt, so I will be focusing a good chunk of my money on debt moving forward now that I've restarted my debt-free journey. So let's go ahead and put these amounts in quickly. My fixed expenses, my variable expenses, and my savings / sinking funds. I'm going to write in my minimum debt payments that I need to make. So we have So I have my Chase Sapphire, my Chase Freedom, Wells Fargo. These are all minimum payments that I need to make. I'm also going to add just a row for extra debt payment. Consumer debt. So my minimum payments are Now we're going to just add up the numbers. I'll show you how I make sure that I zero-based budget, which means that every dollar has a job. I don't leave anything in my account unaccounted for, no pun intended, but everything is assigned something. So, however, in order to determine what I have really left over for debt, I need to calculate where I'm at first. So I'm going to go into my calculator. And the first thing are the fixed expenses. Comes in at $55.14. The next thing I'll calculate are my variable expenses. My debt. This is where we make sure that all of our money is assigned. So I'm just going to put in what the numbers are at this time. I've gone ahead and written out what the current budget numbers are. I'm going to see how much I have left remaining. I actually have $865.86 left over after I've budgeted for all of my fixed expenses, my variable expenses, my minimum debt payments, and my savings and sinking funds. So with zero-based budget, again, you don't want to leave that money unassigned. And because I'm on a debt-free journey, I will be putting that money towards debt. So we're actually going to go back to my extra debt payment and write out how much of this will be putting to debt. What I have left over after all of my expenses is $865.86. So now that I know how much I have remaining in my paycheck, I'm going to assign that amount to debt. And with that new extra debt payment, I'm going to go ahead and I already erased it, but I'm going to recalculate what my minimum debt payment is for this month. I'm sorry, not my minimum debt, my total debt contribution is for this month. That's $1,163.86. And now that I have my new total debt contribution, I'm going to go down to my summary, erase what I initially put for a debt, now once I do the calculation with this new debt amount, all of this should equal 0. So let's double check that now. And look at that, it's 0. I love seeing this. This excites me. Does this excite anybody else? This just means that I am on track with my budget. I'm sure you feel victorious as well when you get your budget to zero-based budget if you use this method. It's very exciting. That means I know already in advance what my paycheck is looking like for this month. I have my budget planned out. Remember, these are budgeted numbers, so I don't actually know how much the final amounts will be. Remember, this is a special paycheck because I am getting my increase applied, so I don't know what my new biweekly take-home pay is until I receive that pay stub. So I'm very excited for this paycheck. This just tells me that there is more opportunities to pay off more debt, even more than the $1,163.86 that I'm contributing. I will be filming a video showing how I break down the discretionary income because yes, I'm on a debt-free journey, but I like to also give myself room to breathe. I like to give myself a portion of any extra income. So again, please be sure to subscribe if you're interested in seeing that video, how I break down what I do with any extra income that I receive. But until then, I'm pretty satisfied with the amount of debt that I'll be able to contribute from this paycheck alone, and I am just excited to be back on this debt-free payoff journey. So that's actually going to be it for today's video. I am tracking my spending for October, so I will be doing bi-weekly check-ins so that we could see how my spending was for the previous 2 weeks and update what the actual amounts are here and any difference that I received and what I was able to accomplish with this first paycheck. A reminder, if you haven't done so, I'm also on Instagram. You can find me at Mind My Budget. That's my Instagram page, at Mind My Budget. Also, if you like today's video and you want to see more of how I do my zero-based budget and how I break down my bi-weekly paychecks, please be sure to like this video and comment down below and subscribe to my channel. Join the at Mind My Budget community here on YouTube. I hope this inspires you. That's it for today's video, but until next time, I'm wishing you nothing but positive vibes. Yes, positive vibes all around. Take care, guys. Have a great day.